All right, so today we're working on numbers 5 through 8 in our constructions notes. So we're starting on number 5 here. Construct the perpendicular bisector of a line segment. And really, this is almost identical. In fact, it is identical. I shouldn't say almost. To number 3 when we were learning to bisect a segment. So if you find the midpoint of a segment, which is what happens when you bisect something, if you draw a line through that point, that is your perpendicular bisector. So the steps here are really the exact same. It's just that we want to make sure that we connect that line and we're putting emphasis on that line instead of the midpoint. So here you want your compass to extend more than halfway, but you can be any distance that is more than halfway, and you'll make your arc. And then without changing this distance, we will make another arc from point B. Okay, and then from here, we are going to label these points C and D. Doesn't matter which one is which. And if you use a straight edge to connect those two, this is what we did to then make this a midpoint here. But if you look, this line CD is a perpendicular bisector. So they're always going to be perpendicular. That's just something that happens when you draw these. And this time we're putting emphasis on the line CD, where before we were more putting emphasis on the midpoint. But same step as number 3. Same steps. What vocabulary words correlate to this construction? So we have intersect, we have bisect, we have line segment, and so on. Other than perpendicular bisector, what other geometric term was created? We also created a midpoint. Okay, and that midpoint divides AB into 2 congruent sections. All right, let's take a look at number 6. Construct a line perpendicular to the given line through a point not on the line. So really what we want is to make a perpendicular line to this line through point A. It says, given your point A on the line, place your pointer on point A and extend it so it'll intersect the line in 2 places. So I'm going to place my pointy side on A and make it big enough so it's going to reach down here. But it'll cross there and there. Okay, and they want us to label those new points B and C, where they cross. Okay, using the same distance, so don't change it at all, place your pointer on point C. Let me move this out of the way. And create an arc on the opposite side of point A. Do the same thing as in step C, but placing your pointer on point B. Label the intersection of the 2 arcs as point D. So when they mean the other side of point A, they mean like A is on the above, we're drawing below now. So I didn't change the distance at all, but I am going to make an arc from point C. And then I'm going to do the same thing, but from point B. And where these cross is our new point D. And now I've made a perpendicular line if I connect those. Let me scoot us over a little. Through point A that is perpendicular to BC. Okay, so that's how we would do that. So we introduced perpendicular, so 2 lines that meet at a 90-degree angle. We also, again, talked about bisecting. So we made points B and C, but AD still bisects that line segment BC. I could add a midpoint again. What else? The lines we're drawing are called arcs, so there's still some vocab in there. 7, construct a line perpendicular to a given segment through a point on the line. Okay, so they want us to do a perpendicular line to this line A, but through a point that's on the line. So in our last one, it was above. This time it's on our line. Okay, given a point on a line, place your pointer on point A and create arcs equal distant from A on both sides, sharing any distance. So let me grab this here. So I'm going to make mine a little shorter, I think, but you just want to make an arc on either side. So now these 2 points are equidistant from point A. That means they have the same distance. So here we'll label these B and C again. Then it says place your pointer on point B and extend it past A. Create an arc above and below point A. And then we'll do the same thing for point C. So you will have to change your distance on this one because if we don't, it's not going to extend past point A. So I'm going to go ahead and make it bigger. I'm going to put my pointy end on point B, and now I'm going to make an arc, but I'm going to make it big so I can make sure they cross. And then I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to put my pointy end on point C. Oop. And then where they cross is where I'm going to put my new points D and E that they're asking for. And then if I connect those with a straight edge, now I have a perpendicular line again that is going through the point on the line. So the steps are all very similar. They just vary slightly depending on where that other point is, or if they want it to be a bisector and they don't give us a point at the beginning. But it's a similar process. And when we end up doing this quiz over constructions, it will be open note. You can look at these steps. We just want to make sure that you can replicate the steps. So here, our biggest new vocabulary word on this one, I think, was equidistant, which means they have the same distance. But everything else should have been, keeps coming back up, but line segment, bisector, perpendicular, all of those. All right, one more for today. Number 8, construct a line parallel to a given line through a point not on the line. So given a point not on your line, we want to try to make a line that's parallel to BC down here that goes through A. So it says place your pointer at point B and measure from B to A. So I'm going to do that, measure from B to A. Okay, that looks good. And then using the same distance, place your pointer at point C and create an arc that extends from C to below the line. So I'm just going to not move this, but move my pointer to point C. And then they want us to have an arc that goes below our line. Now place your pointer at point B and measure the distance from B to C. Okay, and then place pointer at A and create an arc that intersects the other arc. Okay, and it looks like I messed up my first arc by not making it up here big enough. So I'm going to go back and measure from B to A so I can fix that. Okay, so I just extended this arc. Mine was a little short. Okay, place pointer at A and create an arc that intersects the other arc. We did that. Label this point E. So where these two cross is point E. And now it says create AE. And that should be parallel to our BC segment. All right, so parallel was probably our only new vocabulary word, which means our lines will never intersect. Okay, that's it for today's notes. We'll do one more set of notes over regular figures tomorrow, but you're working on worksheet 3 for constructions today.